It feels really nice to finally be making videos once again. This past month the weather has been absolutely horrible, so I haven't been able to get out and ride. But today we're racing round 4 of the AMA District 17 GP series at Tri-City. So I feel like every single time I've made a race video so far this year, I've said this, but in the 12 to 29C class, there's once again a huge turnout, the largest one we've seen so far this year, of 29 riders. The conditions are actually pretty good today, so the racing should be awesome. So as with any GP, Moto 1 is a dead engine start. 29 bikes in our class, as I said, and I kind of surprised myself here. I got my bike started first kick in gear, so that's a problem I've been having all year, and finally got it to work. So started in gear, which is nice, but the GoPro isn't really doing justice here. I could not see a thing just because there's this thing called dust that I didn't think I'd see at all this year, but it played a big factor today. So a guy goes down right off the start here and doesn't look good. We're going backwards on the motocross track, which is why I'm kind of rolling everything. Um, Jumping jumps backwards is just sketchy. So I didn't want to get hurt off the start, but I'm getting past quite a bit, just rolling everything and taking it somewhat easy. And we can see to the right there, the crash kind of intensified, and it looked like a guy was passed out there. So uh, always hate to see riders go down, and hopefully he's okay or she's okay. Um, and yeah, never want to see someone get hurt. So we're going into the woods now, and we get a little bottlenecked up. I get passed on the inside and the outside, so I'm getting passed left and right off the start here. But I had little expectation going into this race. So for the past month, I have been sitting behind a desk, gaining weight like it's my job. So I have a few extra pounds that I haven't had in previous races with my new job and everything. And I haven't really been able to get out and ride because the weather. Um, I've been wanting to ride, but the only time I rode in the last month was at the Fox Valley GP. I went there and we rode 2 laps of practice, and then just got poured on, and the race got canceled. So, yeah, 2 races so far have been canceled of the um, what this should be round 6. So yeah, 2 of the 6 races so far for GPs this year have been canceled, which sucks, and it doesn't look like they're gonna get rescheduled. But yeah, moving on to this race, I didn't really have many expectations going in just because my lack of riding, but my goal was to get some points because I do want to place for the year-end awards for the District 17 GP Series 12 to 29C class year-end awards. So I need some points. I've been updating you guys every race with how the point standings are looking, and I'm falling a little bit behind. So I need to catch up. My goal is, I mean, I'm probably not going to win, to be quite honest, but my goal is maybe 3rd, 4th, or 5th. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, moving on to the end of lap 1 now. Man, I've been just rambling about stuff that's not pertaining really to the actual track here, but the track was prime today. It was awesome. Best conditions that we've seen this year. Like I said, dust is a factor, especially in these open sections. In the trails, it was a little muddy. So the race was on Sunday. So the Wednesday before the race was the last time it rained. So the trails aren't gonna be like completely dry in less than a week, but still, I mean, they were tacky more or less, which was awesome. So yeah, going backwards on these two jumps as well, and then we go up this uphill like we did off the start and finish with lap number 1. So yeah, unfortunately, I was riding by myself for the most of the race. Uh, yeah, a lot of these guys that we're racing against are motocross guys, which they're a different level of C. They could probably easily race B class, and then a bunch of seasoned woods riders as well. So kind of getting left in the dust here. I believe at this point in the race I'm in like maybe 16th of 29, so towards the back. I need to get at least 20th in the race today to get points, which would be beating at least 9 people, which usually would be pretty doable for me, but yeah, with my lack of riding and with just a new desk job and not doing what I should be doing to stay in shape, I guess it was a lot harder than it should have been. So yeah, and moving on to lap 3, and things really thinned out at this point. That guy that you saw in the last clip, I let him around me. He was faster, and I mean it's a GP, so this course was pretty open. However, I pulled over just to not hold him up more than I needed to. Just a sportsmanship thing to do, I guess, the right thing to do. Don't really want to hold people up, and if they're obviously faster than you, then what's it gonna hurt to pull over for just a couple of seconds? So I've shown pretty much the entire course except for this section, which is the second half of the course, and this is more or less the more technical section. It's still pretty open, but it's a gradual uphill, and it's a little bit more ruddy, and honestly my line choice was pretty bad, which is why I get a little bit of momentum and then suddenly lose the momentum. I was just tired. I didn't really get arm pump this race, but I was just winded. So one thing that I need to work on definitely, aside from getting out and riding a lot more, and hopefully the weather cooperates so I can do that, is just working out a little bit and getting my endurance and whatnot back to where it should be. So here we are, white flags out, last lap. So this next clip, hopefully everyone can take a little bit from it. It's always good to learn a lesson or get a takeaway, and this is the takeaway. So we're going down this downhill, and once you start going on this downhill, you're not stopping. So I go towards the bottom here, asked the guy if he's okay, and he shook his head no. I was in a battle for 18th right there. The guy was right on my tail, and honestly we're towards the end of the lap, so I probably could have held him off. Like I said, if someone's obviously faster than you, then you should let him around. However, it was the last lap, and it was for 18th, so we're not battling for the win, and there wasn't much left of the lap. So like I said, I probably could have held him off and got 18th. However, when you ask someone if they're okay and they shake their head no, at least in my mind, that's a red flag. Forget the race. Someone's safety and well-being is more important than one position. So I dropped my bike, and his bike was just stuck on him and he couldn't get up. So I just pulled it away so he could get up and got going again. And I think I flooded my bike a little bit doing that, so it took a couple of kicks to get back going again. So lost the position, but in the greater scheme of things, we're all in this for fun. We're not racing for money. We're not racing for fame. We're racing because it's fun, and especially in the C class, um, it's no big deal to lose a position. So in Moto 1, got 19th of 29, so not the best finish, but again, expectations were a little low, and we still have another Moto. So guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in Moto 2.